Alright, back again, Luke here. And today what I thought we could do is take a look at something I just got in, and that is this. The new Famicom Mini. Now this is something that I picked up here. I got it just in the mail today, and it wound up costing me a little bit more than what it originally was going for. This is the same problem that people have been talking about with the NES Mini, and that is a lot of resellers trying to jack up the prices to 2, 3, 10, even 20 times as much as the actual cost of the machine. And this one here I wound up picking up for about $95. Unfortunately too, I didn't wind up pre-ordering it or anything like that. I didn't think you had to, but unfortunately paid a little bit extra. And along with that, I wound up picking up this. This is the AC adapter for it. Now it is sold separately, so figured we'd have both of them and pick them both up together. So what I thought we could do today is take a look at inside the box, maybe crack open the machine here, look at the inside and the internals, and then turn it on, do a little bit of gameplay. So we'll see how much we can fit into like a 25-minute video. Let's start off here with the first one. I haven't opened any of these, so I have no clue what is on the inside, but I can imagine it's probably just the basics. Okay, well, there is that. This is our AC adapter. Looks like a basic USB AC adapter here. So, well, that's alright. I don't think there's anything. Oh, okay. Well, there's some instructions. This is something else that I bought online, and it was it was sold through a reseller, and unfortunately this did cost a lot more than what it originally was sold for. This one cost me about 2,500 yen, so I don't know, about 20 US dollars. But yeah, anyway, we got that one here. Let's crack this guy open on the side. And since this was bought from a reseller, I'm hoping it hasn't been touched. Be nice. Okay, and we got our code here for the Nintendo Universe, or My Nintendo. So this is a gift that comes with it, as well as the instructions and authenticity card. And on the inside here, and this guy is small. super small. We'll go ahead and take the pads off here. Wow, that is so tiny. Look at that. I was not sure exactly what kind of tools we would need to open this thing up, but that is super mini. Let's see. Crack this open. Oh, there we go. Does it have the front piece that pops off? It doesn't appear. Nope. Doesn't look like it comes off. It looks like it's stuck in there. And all of this solid. The top part, does it open? No. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like anything else. The on-off switch, pretty much similar to the original Famicom here. And the reset button, everything else is just stock standard plastic here. So we'll get the other controller out of the bag. That's how that one looks. Nice and glossy. Seems pretty sturdy. That's a good sign. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what else is in the box. Get the bottom part out of here. And these are the two cables that it comes with. It's nice that it does come with a HDMI cable. I didn't think it came with an HDMI cable, but that is cool. So if anybody's picked this up, it does come with its original or its own Nintendo HDMI cable with it. And last but not least, this is for the AC adapter that plugs in the back. And it is one where you need to have the USB end of it, so I'm glad that I picked that up. We'll open this guy up here and twist it. This is quite interesting. I mean, it really is small and tiny and kind of cutesy, I guess. I've got another Famicom. Actually, I've got one sitting over here. That I was playing the other day, and this one is a little bit beaten up, but still does the trick. You guys can, let's see if I can get this thing in here. Alright, so we'll put this guy next to the other one. So here's the original versus the mini. You can see a massive difference in size between the two here, but first things first, before we go ahead and plug this in and test it out, let's strip it open. And I'm going to need a couple other screwdrivers to get this done. We'll see if this one will work here. I'm not sure if this will be the right size. Take a look at the inside of the controller. Oh, that one's still too big. This is, it requires some really fine tip screwdrivers to get this, these screws out. So normally I should have a bucket or something like that, or a small case where I can put these screws, but since we're on time constraints here, I'll see what I can do as far as getting this thing open, showing you guys what it looks like, and then popping it on and checking some of that. Hopefully we can do this all in one video, as long as the battery holds up. Let's see. Pull the back off here so you guys can take a look at it. Like I said, this is the first time I've gotten this. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it, so it'll be kind of new and exciting for everyone, hopefully. Alright, so here we have our mini controller. This looks a little bit similar and a little bit different than the original, that being the fact that it's got another screw in it. That's what's holding the PCB in place. So I'll pop this out here. And as far as the rubber membranes here for the switches, this looks pretty much the same as the original. You have your up, down, left, right. You can see on the PCB here. Nothing too spectacular, quite simplistic. Just the bare necessities here. Made in China, okay. But there is our controller on the back. Got a small DAC, which is probably just used for the inputs. So pop this guy back in here, and probably just going to take apart just the one controller, because that'll make it a little bit easier than taking apart every controller. And then I'll go back and put this back together the way it was in a little bit, but just to show you guys a little bit of a look at it so far. Put this back in here. Not very much to it, you know, and obviously it's kind of like borderline emulation slash, you know, knockoff clone console, but it's actually made by Nintendo, so it's not so bad. It's kind of bordering on different areas here. Some people are already talking about how it's, you know, it just doesn't have any value to it. In my opinion here, it seems a little bit more valuable than the Neo Geo X. At least this is actually made by Nintendo. It's not licensed out by somebody else. So we'll go ahead here and pop the back off, and what do we need to do? Probably need to take the back pads off. Yep, we do. And it uses the same pads, or the same screws as the controllers. So that one is, yep, that one also has to come off. I have absolutely no problem with, you know, taking these things apart, just so that everyone can take a look at them and see what's going on with them. Let's see here. I'm trying to remove this a little bit. Looks like the double-sided tape here. And I could probably be doing this really, really neat, but since we don't have much time, I just want to get this thing cracked open and checked out. Put this here. But yeah, if you guys are thinking about picking these things up, they are much cheaper in Japan. But I know that the resellers are going to be taking these things and buying them up in large amounts and doing the same thing. Only they'll be putting them up on eBay. So, good fun times to be had. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Wow, now this doesn't really have much to it at all. You can see here in the bottom, we've got our PCB, and this one is ribbon cabled to the top here for the on-off switches. And if we take a closer look here, we're already like 10 minutes into the video, so let's see if we can do this a little quickly and then get this thing turned on so you guys can see it, what it looks like. I haven't seen what it looks like, so but it'll be interesting to see. That's funny. It didn't have an extra screw there, did it? It only had 2 screws. That's odd. Yeah, there wasn't an extra screw there, was there? Like on this side. Makes me wonder if somebody has already opened it up. That would be nice. In the most sarcastic way. So here is our on-off switch here. And you can see, once again, quite simplistic as far as the on-off goes. We've got our ribbon cable, which I probably should disconnect, but just for right now, should be all right. See the USB connector in the back, mini USB. This is for the AC adapter, and then this is our HDMI cable. Once again, there's another screw that doesn't seem to be in there. I wonder if these things were just made without the screws. That would really be odd and probably seem quite weird. It just seems like there's missing screws in it already. Shouldn't happen with a new system, but alright. So, let's see if we can pop this guy open here. Take a look at the reverse side. Alright, well, unfortunately we won't be able to get inside here, but you can see the CPU is pressed in there. It's held in there by one of those thermal pads. It's a little bit squishy. So I can imagine over time that thermal pad is just going to separate away from the plate, causing this thing to stop working over time, and depending on how hot it gets. It's got a lot of capacitors on there, ceramic capacitors on the inside, but well, there is not very much to this at all. So let's just get this thing put back together, and then we'll fire it on and take a look at it. Pretty surprised about, like I said, about the screws not being in there and this being so. I guess it's a lot better looking than the what is it, the clone models. So just wondering about those screws. Yeah, when I get these new machines in here, I try and strip them down, see what they look like, and show you guys what they look like as well. That way we can all get kind of like a first-hand experience or first-hand look at the systems. And since this thing didn't have a couple of screws in it, I'm gonna make sure where the screws were and where the screws weren't. Put that in there. Looks like there was only 2 screws left. Put that in there. This guy in here. Let's see. Gonna make sure that the power switch is in the right position, as that would throw everything off, wouldn't it? Let's see. Is that on? Let's see. Up and down. Okay, there we go. When putting these things back together, you always gotta make sure about those parts. Just really wondering about that third screw. I know I've probably said it about 1,000,000 times now, but the fact that there wasn't a screw over here makes me really wonder. Especially since that's the reset part. Jeez. It's like, what do we do, huh? Okay, well, maybe I'll put one over here just in case, as Luke runs out of time. I just don't like the fact that this doesn't have any support underneath it for some reason. Maybe that was factory. I'm guessing probably no. Let's see, what else could we take off? I'd rather have, let's see, I'm going to take this off. Since the circuit board, I could substitute one more here for switches that'll be used more often. Keep this over here. Probably should have got a smaller screwdriver as well. Alright, well, I think that's about the best we're going to get for right now. Pop the back on it. I think we'll leave the ends off, just the bottom parts for the legs off of it. Ah, that's what it was. Interesting. Okay, well, there we go, learn something new. The screw hole for the bottom screw that's going into the bottom plate is actually holding this circuit board in place as well. So that's what that was. Well, which means that this is the same thing over here in this corner. Okay, well, there we have it. That's why it looks like there was missing screws. We're learning something new here. Pop this guy together. And hopefully get this guy taken care of in a short amount of time. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll undo. This one is player 2, so we'll undo player 1 controller, and then we'll plug in the AC adapter. And I already have a HDMI cable plugged in because I knew this thing was HDMI, I just didn't know if it came with a cable or not. So I've already got one set up. Put this guy out of the way. Move this out just for now. Plug this in, and hopefully that HDMI cable in the back too will be the right size and the right setup for this. There's our power cable in the back. Let's see, grab the cable here, which is quite short. Okay, we've got that plugged in, and now we need AC power. Come on. This thing's gonna keep sliding, isn't it? Due to the cable and not having those rubber pads on the back. Okay, let's take this thing down for just a second. Alright, got it plugged in. And try and put this on top of our tape pile. And we'll fire this thing on here. Move up the camera, take a look at this, and see what we get. Alright, let's give it a go. There we go. Takes a little while for the power to come on, but at the beginning here, let's see if you guys can see this. Got some pretty good beats in the background. Let's see. I don't know what I did with my remote. There we go. And you can see up at the top here are different areas that we can scroll through. Looks like even up at the top here we can change the size of the monitor, can change the regular settings, has the instructions, and these are the different games that are in it. We've got our was it the Dracula. This one is Chase, the Mystery of Atlantis. Looks like we have regular Excite Bike, Galaga, Gradius, Super Contra, Super Mario, Mario 3, Mario 2, Zelda, Solomon's Key. We've got the Nekketsu series here, Double Dragon 2. We got Sumo, Dr. Mario, Donkey Kong, Ninja Gaiden, Balloon Fight, Pac-Man, Final Fantasy 2, that's cool, Kirby. We've got Ghosts and Goblins, Mario Golf, Super Mario Brothers, or Mario Brothers, the original, Metroid, good, Link or Zelda 2, Rockman 2, Ice Climber. Yeah, that's a pretty good assortment of games here. Seems pretty good. One of my favorites, good old Castlevania, but I'm afraid if I go ahead and click on it here, I'd probably get copyright or something. Let's just try Mega Man or Rockman. Start it up here. See how it goes. It looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit of reflection, so let's try this. And it is Rockman at its best, Rockman 2. Try and start it up here. That actually looks really, really nice. I like how they have this in HDMI. Go ahead and start it up. Geez, which one? I don't know. Let's just give it a shot. But yeah, I mean, for the price, for 60 bucks, I think this is worth it. I mean, even for, you know, 90 bucks, which I paid for, this still not bad, I think. It's really interesting to play with these mini controllers, though. If you're somebody who has big hands, it's going to be a little bit of trouble, for sure. Well, I totally forgot about that. It's going to be a little bit tricky to play. But it is a cool little novelty here, I think. I think you're supposed to... Jump, jump, jump. Trying to go through this as much as possible, but yeah, I mean, I think for the system itself, not bad at all. And obviously here we are far from playing well, but it's kind of fun. I'd say this is a pretty good deal for sure. So yeah, if you're somebody who's in the market for one of these minis, I think it'd be a cool little toy to pick up here. And just something interesting to play around with. But as you guys can see... Whoa, I shouldn't have jumped. But it plays exactly just like the original. Looks great in HDMI here. I think it's fantastic. Oh, it's really neat. I wonder how to reset, if there's a way, by pressing the controller... all the buttons. Nope, can't do that. So the only way to reset it is just going into the reset mode. So let's just reset it here. Give it a shot. That'll bring you down here. Ah, here's your data saves. That's interesting. That's really cool. So you can do all your data saves here, and you can put that in the place and save the last part where you were at in a game. Nice. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this just a little bit here. Just a short little look at what the Famicom Mini looks like. And it's a pretty cool, nifty little item, I think, to get. Going to be probably quite popular here during the holiday season. And this does have a different list of games on it compared to the NES that was released in the States. So it'll give you a little bit more variety to play here. If you're thinking about picking one of these up, you can play some of your favorites through the system here in HDMI. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys got a little bit of enjoyment out of this video, and that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Watching some Famicom Mini here in action. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I'm totally digging it. This definitely looks cool. Whee! Death. Take care, guys. We'll see you again here soon. Alright, back again, Luke here, and thought we could take a look at a little bit of some in-depth parts of the machine as far as the software goes in it and the different features to it. What's interesting about this is if you just leave it run like this for a little bit of time, it'll jump into this mode here where just you have Mario and Luigi like running across the screen, hitting the box, kind of very similar to the original Famicom disk system. And each time they hit it, usually it'll be a different character, or this is pretty cool. It's a bit nostalgic of what it used to be like for the Famicom disk system. So if you let it sit here a couple more times, you'll see that the characters will change again and the background will change. But let's take a look at some of the options here. Now, I didn't really have a chance to look at most of these, but I did go ahead and check out the gamen, or the screen, and I found that there are different ways that you can set this up. You can have it look like an analog TV, you can set it in 4:3, or you can have it pixel perfect, so it comes out in really HD, fantastic, you know, wonderful looking screen. This is really cool. I think that they have the analog TV function for it. Really a cool option to have. And let's see here. If we go into the regular options here, you can have the system shut down. It looks like it has automatic shutdown feature, and then you can change the amount of discoloration or so in the screen or in the monitor, and then it has the autoplay mode. So really kind of neat. Some interesting parts here. If we go back here, another part, you can, well, where is it? For the instructions, it'll tell you, apparently, for the instructions about each game. But, let's see here. Well, no, this will jump you right into Pac-Man. You can see the scan lines in the background, which is pretty awesome looking. Here, let's start it up. Just like looking at an old CRT, which makes it look, you know, even cooler. So those are a couple more neat features for the system. Let's try and reset it here. We'll take a look at some of the other games and other stuff as well. You know, at the beginning I wasn't really kind of hoping for too much here with the system, but surprisingly this actually is quite good. And this one here was Final Fantasy III, so this is actually quite neat. Just all the different features, like I said, down here you have your data saves or your game selects that you can put into place. Good old Metroid. And Metroid in Japan was released on the Famicom disk system, so that's why this is coming up here. This is the original disk system. You'll see the lights change in the background, just very similar to what we saw at the beginning with the demo if you just leave the demo running. I just press start. Now that's pretty cool. I like that. I like how they left that in there. Did they leave the loading in there? Well, it's pretty much the same thing. But does it say now loading? That would be interesting. Nope, guess not. Very, very cool. You can start off your own game here, but we're not gonna start up good old Metroid. We'll try and reset it here. But this does remind me a lot of the what is it? The yeah, the original setup with that background here. Let's try pixel perfect. Go back out of here. There you go. Okay, so if you want to get the instructions, you go here, follow the website, or you can use your camera to scan this or take a picture of this. It'll send you to it so you can know how to use it. Seems to be the wave of the future nowadays. Instead of including the manuals with stuff, it's just pretty much DLC or online content. Let's see, what else do we got? Good old Super Contra. But the system does look awesome. Really, really cool. I think this is probably one of the better deals that I've seen in a while here. And the different options for being able to like change the monitor settings and stuff. So you can see here, this is in pretty much pixel perfect. It's crazy because I haven't played these games in a long time. I'm really curious as to see how the controllers will hold up, just because they are so small. But yeah, the games look great, and they play really smooth. I do love the feel of the controller. It feels really, really smooth. It doesn't feel cheap and flimsy. It feels like they definitely tried hard to put in a lot of kind of a little bit stronger membranes in there, or pads for the D-pad. It feels really good. So, but yeah, I thought we could kind of make this small little follow-up here and toss this onto the video so you guys can take a look at some of the games and the setup. It does take a couple of seconds, I've noticed, to turn on, just probably because it needs a bit of time to charge up. But yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good setup for the price. This reminds me of our Arino so much. Oh no! But yeah, hopefully you guys got a kick out of this, and if you're in the market for it, I'd say try and pick it up here before the resellers go ahead and scalp these things for extreme amounts of money, which you know is going to happen quite soon. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.